Join the Music Universe podcast for this special social media extra from CRS 2021. Hey everybody, Matt Bailey here with the Music Universe podcast extras. I got Buddy and I got Lockeland. Welcome, gentlemen. Lockeland, I want to ask, such a cool name. Where was the name devised? What's the story there?
Andrew Kinnan?
I guess I'll take this one. There's actually a couple reasons. So when we picked it, we were trying to come up with the name, and we were in a group text thread, and we were just kind of going over names. And I think one of us said Lockeland or Lockeland Springs or something along those lines. And Michael, I think, was the one that said, "How about just Lockeland?" And so we're all like, "Oh yeah, that's really cool." And then we're like, "Oh man, there's so much more that goes into it because they're both from New York and I'm from Kansas, so we locked the land in between us and all live in Nashville. Plus, Nashville's landlocked, so there's so many different meanings behind it." Yeah,
love that. How do y'all know each other?
We met each other. So we have all been in Nashville for 10 plus years, and I first met Mark at a writer's round in Nashville. I had just graduated college from Belmont, and I was working as a full-time professional drummer, and just trying to meet people and everything like that. And then I went to a writer's round, I saw Mark playing there, and I was like, wow, that guy's really great. So then Mark and I became friends, and then like literally just a month after that, Mark introduced me to Kindon, because Mark and Kindon had been playing writer's rounds and songwriting and doing that circuit. And so so that's kind of how we met. And then we started writing together, working for each other in different capacities, and then it was just like 3 years ago where the three of us decided to actually be like, hey, you know what, let's just do this. Let's commit to this thing, and let's be a trio, let's be a band, and so
yeah. And you guys actually have a contemporary country sound with a throwback twist. Can you explain that for the viewers that may not be familiar with your work?
Yeah, I would say we have like a contemporary production style that we kind of go into each recording with, and we take a nod to the 90s country with the harmonies, how much harmony we do with the Lone Star Diamond Rio type of harmonies that you'd hear back in the 90s on the radio. We're kind of trying to bring that back, so to speak. But with the contemporary production, that kind of modern style that you hear now on the radio too, we kind of blend those two things together, and it really forms our sound.
Right on. And you guys were named Maverick Magazine, one of Maverick Magazine's top 8 to watch in 2020. How does it make you guys feel?
It makes us feel honored.
Super excited.
Feel great. I mean, hopefully they'll just keep watching. 2020 was a weird year, tough year. And so hopefully we're still on the radar as ones to watch, especially as things start opening up and we're allowed to play shows and get out there and get some of our new music out there. So, yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about that new music. What's the latest single? And, is it, I assume it's available everywhere digitally?
Yeah. So in 2020, kind of when COVID and everything happened, the three of us kind of sat down and we were just like, man, like, what do we do? Do we just hold off from releasing anything since there's no shows, or what do we do? So the three of us came up with the unanimous decision to be like, no, let's release something. Let's put something out there. In the middle of a pandemic, let's just go for it. So Made for Mornings is our latest single. We released that last May, and that got up to number 33 on the Music Row charts and the country radio charts there. And so that was quite an honor. Big thank you to country radio and all the DJs and people for listening and spinning it. But yeah, that's all of our music is available anywhere like Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Amazon, things like that. So that was our latest single, and we're very proud of that. And we hope that it encouraged a lot of people during a tough time, So, but there is a lot of new music coming out too. So,
when is that coming? You guys have a time frame?
Yeah, so the next single is going to be Blackberry Whiskey, and we're proud of this one. Our fans really love this song. We've been playing it all through 2020 on our live streams. Every show that we play, we've always include this song in our set, and we're excited about it. We're excited for the fans to hear the produced version of the song. It has taken it's a new life than what they're used to hearing on the live stream. So we're excited to have them hear it, and so we're going to be releasing that early April, mid-April. That's what we're shooting for, and hope everybody gets excited for it because we're excited for it.
Can you describe, it's got an interesting title for sure. Can you describe the sound of this one? Is it going to be more along the lines of your previous singles, or are you going to kind of go take fans for a ride somewhere?
I like how we're actually taking turns speaking, so it's kind of working out nice. But yeah, since we can't all be in the same room, obviously since there's a winter storm here in Nashville, we weren't able to get in the same room. But yeah, Blackberry Whiskey, we got together with a good buddy of ours, Dave Zobel, and we decided to try this new whiskey called Blackberry Whiskey that Whiskey Jam released this whiskey. So it was over that Winners Ward, and then we're promoting this Blackberry Whiskey. And so we got together with him and started drinking the whiskey, and the song wrote itself. And so we came up with Blackberry Whiskey, and it's just kind of like a laid back, kind of drunken, sway in the song. Maybe Michael or Mark can explain a little better, but that's definitely where the inspiration came from.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, not at all. It's just to add on to that, it's kind of like think of like a summery front porch, back in the country kind of song with a little bit of a nice groove. It has a great groove to the song. It's going to be, I think people are really going to like it.
Let me ask, I know you guys were on the radar, and you continue to be in 2020. You're one of these bands that are on the rise, and then 2020 hit and everything got stalled out. What did you have on the books, planned for releases? I know we were just talking about that. On the books, shows, opportunities that kind of went by the wayside because of the pandemic. And when do you expect those things to maybe start building back up for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. So basically, we had actually toured the UK in 2019. We have a very big fan base in the United Kingdom, which we're very fortunate to have. And we got the opportunity to go over there. We got to play the Millport Country Music Festival in Scotland, the Long Road Festival in Leicester, England. We played in York, England, London, and so we had just an incredible time there, and we really got a chance to pour into the fans over there. And so there were plans to go back in 2020, possibly a couple of times in 2020, 2 or 3 times maybe, who knows, and so not only that, so obviously new music and shows in the States, we had like lots of things we were like tentatively lining up and like booking, and like shows that were on the books obviously, and then they just got canceled, and along with that, is canceled, the income is canceled, so therefore it's difficult to get in the studio and to fund more projects when you lose your income, so everything in 2020 was out of pocket essentially. So we just, even though 2020 threw a curveball, we really worked hard to try and turn it around and stay positive and still release music. So
I love that. I love that you guys have such an upbeat attitude. I have to ask, we have a Viking stad, and then how do I say your first name there?
Kindon
Oaks. Such unique names. First, let's start with you, Mark. Am I right? Is that like of the Viking? Are you a Viking country music singer?
Yeah. Yeah, all my songs are in 12/8. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. It's all like these are 12/8 songs, and singing with a Norwegian in a twang. No, I don't speak Norwegian at all. Actually, my family would be so proud of me. But no, it's all Scandinavian from my dad's side. My wife and I did the 23 ancestry. I think it was the ancestry one, 23andMe, and we did that and got the results back. It's like 43% Scandinavian. and or a little bit more, like 47% or something like that. And yeah, it's a name that my great grandfather changed along the way, from an unpopular kind of like traditional thing that they were doing in Norway to Vikingstad, and it's one of the coolest names I've ever heard. And maybe I'm a little biased, but still, it's pretty cool. People's reaction is very funny when I tell them my last name.
And Kindon, a very cool first name too. There's got to be a story there, right?
You know, there's not much of one. I guess there's a little bit of one. I'll tell this story. So my dad, he played college baseball with a guy in Oregon, and my dad was a pitcher, and the catcher's name was Kindon. And so my parents just liked that name, and they named me after him. I've never met him. I know nothing of him, but that's where it came about. I'm not even sure if it's spelled the same. They may have changed the spelling, maybe, but yeah.
And Michael, what's the origin of your name?
I am like half Ukrainian and a quarter English and a quarter Italian. So that's America, if you know, in a nutshell, right there. But yeah, my father comes from Ukrainian roots, Ukrainian, Polish, kind of stuff like that, and so yeah, so that's where Boris comes from. Yeah. Exactly.
Look at all these European descendants coming together to
Exactly.
do some throwback 90s country music. I love it. I love it.
Who'd have
guys.
thought, right? Exactly.
Well, gentlemen, anything else before we wrap up here? It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. Please feel free. Anything we left out, you know how these round robin media days work. We go with what we have in front of us, but please feel free. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, if you guys want to check us out, locklandband.com. You can find us on all social media with Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Apple iTunes, Lockeland, LOCKELAND. It's on our hoodies today. We represent
I
our
love
band
that.
and our name here. So and yeah, go check it out. Come follow us, join us on this journey, and we really appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a pleasure, guys. We greatly appreciate it, and yeah, we're gonna check that out. And thanks for visiting.
Hey,
Of course,
thank you
Thank you
guys
for having us.